My summer training block is 12 weeks long, and most years I try to run the least amount of miles my coach asks me to. But my goal for this next cross-country season is to PR in the 5K, by a lot. And I realized that this wasn't going to happen if I kept doing the bare minimum. So I decided to go the extra mile and set a crazy goal to run 500 miles before the first 5K of the season. This is no easy feat, and it actually requires running over 40 miles per week. Also, in order to see how much improvement 500 miles will actually get me, I need a baseline test. And so, I decided to do a 5K time trial on the streets to try to find where my fitness currently is. And let's just say, it was not pretty. Alright guys, we're 2 days after the start of the challenge. I haven't really run at all this past week, so probably not in the greatest shape to run fast, but oh well, we'll see what happens. Alright guys, we're gonna start here in a minute. It's humid, but my legs don't feel that bad, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can hold 520 pace the entire time, but we'll see. After a warm-up and a couple of strides, the official lined us up, and who knows? Go. We were off and away. The first couple of steps felt pretty strong, and after a couple of seconds of running, I figured I had this time trial in the bag. Pretty naive to be thinking like this now looking back on it, but at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I sped up this first minute or so of footage because nothing interesting happened besides the first 2 blocks being very slightly uphill, but once we rounded the first bend, it pretty much immediately flattened out. We passed 2 other runners before passing a yard sale, who happened to be the only spectators during the whole run who cheered us on.
What up, buddy? That's a 5:35 after a little while.
Regardless, right after that, I looked at my watch and saw a 5:35 pace, which made me get a little antsy, but Cabral told me to slow down a bit since his watch said we were spot on pace. 30 or so seconds later, we turned the corner onto one of 2 downhills at the entire run, and then we crossed the road. The next couple of minutes are fairly boring, so here we are right about to hit a mile. At this point, we had just come off the downhill, and I felt absolutely terrible. I mean, I felt like I was going all out to just maintain the pace, and my breathing shows that. We came through the mile on a 5:23, which was right on pace, but any attempt to run a fast time, at least for me, was already over. It felt like I was at mile 2.5 in the 5K, not mile 1.1. Once I realized this, I kind of started panicking, just a little. And so thus begins the great fall off, where Cabral gaps me by a very large distance in a very short amount of time. Soon after this outrageous occurrence, we turn right and run a lap around the gravel track, using it as a long turnaround. When I get back onto the road, still going at a very slow pace, I see Josh not too far ahead. At this point, I had controlled my breathing and slowed down enough to the point where I might, just maybe, be able to rally hard enough to start running my tempo pace again. This realization, along with the fact that Josh, who was running mileage, wasn't getting any closer to me, made me start pushing. The slide downhill made it even easier, and so my pace continued to drop all the way down to about 550 per mile. I soon caught up with Josh, but then the fatigue from who knows what kicked in again, and for the life of me I couldn't speed up, and I started going backwards. No, Caleb, no, this is not good at all. But alas, mentally, I was too far gone. Physically, I had little to no reserves left to draw on, and it was not helped by the fact that I knew my finishing time was inevitably going to be slow. And so I limped through the last kilometer or so, falling off of the slow pace Josh was going, all the while trying to convince myself not to just stop and start walking. Honestly, this is quite humiliating considering that beforehand I had delusional dreams of running a sub 17 and a perfect pace job for Cabral. With a quarter of a mile left, I attempted to muster up some semblance of a kick, but to no avail. I jogged through the finish, still breathing harder than I imagine anyone ever has before, and I laid down, defeated. This was a reality check, and it most definitely showed me that work had to get done, and so I immediately began making plans. Alright guys, just finished. I don't know what happened. I came through a mile, and I was barely breathing, just standing heavy, and I was like, I can't sustain this pace. I know there's definitely some giving up in there, but like, I have no idea what happened. I feel bad for Cabral because I was trying to pace him through 5K, but I came nowhere near that. Well, I guess we got a lot of work to do before cross country. Like a lot of work. Training starts on Monday, so see you guys then. Morning, guys. It's too early for this. It's just Monday morning, so it's day number 1, summer training. We're doing easy 6 today. Might not feel easy though, because I haven't ran in like forever, so we'll see. Can't know before else, gotta run this hill. May not look that steep, but you can see gas after a little bit. We'll make it. Alright, come on. No worry. Hey guys, we're stopping for a quick little water break. Should be quick. It's a little awkward, yeah, but we're good. Water trip completed. After that quick little water break, I continued on my run, feeling like I must be doing at least 10 miles when I was only doing 6. Thankfully, the rest of the week I was only scheduled to do 4 miles per day, so hopefully we should be chilling. I'm actually going this way, halfway, 3 miles. Alright guys, we're at like 4.6 per GN on a friend here. My boys got less than a mile left. Girls social distancing right now. Thankfully, after running into Cabrillo, the rest of the run went by a little bit faster, and I managed to finish with the 7:21 average pace. Just parted ways with Cabrillo. I gotta walk home. It's humid, bro. It also took a lot longer than I thought it would. It felt like a lot longer anyway. This is why we do summer training, boys. We gotta get locked in, yo. Got a really good shot because it took way too long. Alright, I'm home now. Eating cereal for breakfast. Alright, boys. Finished packing now. And you might be wondering, what are you packing for? Well, I'll tell you. FS1, church camp, and we're gonna be chilling there for the next couple days, so you better get used to it because we're gonna be there for like a week, or we can get our runs in every morning, bright and early. Okay, so I also made this goal to do 100 push-ups per day, which is a lot, but it doesn't take a super long time. I split it up into 50 in the morning and 50 in the evening, and these ones are the morning ones. Please don't judge the form as well, because it's a work in progress. Alright, that's 50 done. This is even more later. That was rough. The only clip I ended up getting of the entire day was this short one, which isn't really useful in the slightest, but the entire day was basically just based around meeting the group you were assigned to, and thankfully I got put in a pretty epic group. We also went to things like orientation and stuff like that. Our boys gotta do 50 push-ups.
Great day, not again.
At the end of the day, I hit my second set of 50 push-ups, which was a bit harder than the morning set, but still manageable. We were also sharing dorms with 2 other kids that I barely knew, so I was a bit hesitant to film around them, so that's why I'm whispering to the camera.
You made it. That was great.
Alright boys, day 2, we're out here. We're running on this like 200 meter long loop. Also, I did not get a lot of footage from this run due to the fact that there were quite a few other people around, and I get pretty embarrassed filming around other people, so I apologize for that. 3 miles in, we're in the trenches right now, boys. I was last lap around this thing. About to hit 4, and I'm gonna go back to my room. Boys, we're back. It's actually 45. Josh is blasting pretty well. Anyway, I'm gonna take a shower and then bounce to scripture study and then breakfast. I don't know how much I can film this, so. Like I just said, I took a shower and got ready for the day, and also did my 50 morning push-ups. Can't slack no matter what, even at church camps. After this, we went and had scripture study, then ate breakfast. After breakfast and everything, we just had classes all day, as well as the dance, which I have no pictures of. I do have this picture of Grant, though. At the end of the day, I did another 50 push-ups, which meant I completed my 100 for the day. Alright boys, day 3. Yeah, okay, so on day 3, Josh managed to convince the counselors to let us run in a larger quarter-mile loop, which was huge because now we had half the amount of laps. Alright guys, we're doing stretches now. I should do some easy workout stuff like 1 times a K, like 335, and then some 400s. I don't know, we'll see what happens. They're pretty good, so I don't know, I got the mileage shoes on, so I don't know how fast I can run, but we'll see. Like I just said, we use this opportunity to put larger. Alright guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but at this point, I spent over 10 hours editing this video, so a subscription would be much appreciated. So please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'm trying to hit 10K before the end of the year, and if you look right now, I'm probably nowhere near, so please subscribe. Helps me out a lot. So thank you for watching. And back to the video. As I was saying before I got interrupted by editing me, we used this opportunity of a larger loop to run a pretty chill workout. We did 4x K and 330 per rep. Then Josh and Carol decided to do a couple 400s. Alright guys, last one I was vlogging. We fit about 330 for every other one. Feeling kind of good. Breathing's a little heavy though. Now it's just me and you again. Just me and you. And the sunset or sunrise. By the way, the sure was pretty good so far. Pretty hype day yesterday and the day before. So I'm gonna make it through the rest of the week. I got like 3 days left. After completing the chill workout, I went back to my dorm and showered, as well as doing another 50 push-ups. Also during this time lapse, you can see the boys in the background still laying in bed because none of them wanted to wake up at 5:45 and go run, as if that's an insane thing to do or something. I'm just gonna skip the rest of the push-ups because again, it's pretty boring to watch. So the rest of the day on Wednesday was basically spent in classes, which were actually quite interesting. And then we had a games night as well as a pizza night, which was dope. And then I did my nightly 50 push-ups as expected. You can also see Milo and Henry grinding out in the corner, starting their own summer redemption arc. Good morning guys, it's currently day 4. We
still have this bigger loop, which is awesome. They're pretty good.
So these clips were not very cohesive and don't make much sense, but basically I was telling you that my watch was geeking, and so we were hitting 6:30 pace, when in reality we were probably on like 7:10 pace.
I just finished. My watch is definitely off like 4.6, but it's probably close to like 4.3. Anyway, we're pretty good today's church dress, because it's gonna be really hot, but whatever.
Okay, so I guess I forgot to film the push-ups. I'm not sure how that happened, but regardless, I did them. I promise. I also didn't film anything the entire day, mainly because it was a more focused day. We read a lot of scriptures and had discussions, stuff like that. In my opinion, it was the best day, but that's subjective.
What's up, guys? Day 5. We out here in the trenches. Jake Cole just ran past a couple laps, but got kicked out. So
Big boy Lane kicked him out.
Ashley says 3. Feeling pretty good. Feeling probably tired seeing the same thing every day, so Alright guys, finished 4 miles. There's Cabral. He did 5. Just a good little I'm just kidding. Super sick. Today's our final day now, so tomorrow I'll be running at home probably. Around town, finally.
Alright guys, 50 push-ups. So tragically, this is in fact the final day of FSY, which is a travesty, but at the same time, I was super tired, so I was also kind of looking forward to leaving. After doing all my push-ups, I had breakfast, went to scripture study, etc., and then we did some taking home stuff. At the end of the day, we had a dance, which was pretty epic, and then FSY was over. Alright, what is up guys? Just got back from FSY a couple hours ago. Wish I could have done more filming, but I get pretty embarrassed when filming around other people, so I didn't get a ton of footage last week. Hopefully, this next week I'll get a ton of footage, and it should be pretty fun to watch, so I'm gonna go eat lunch now. Alright, good evening guys. It is 6:21 right now, but I go on my run. Got the shoes on. I should do like 5 miles. It should be pretty easy. Might go a little slow. Might also stop by and say hi to the counselors and we'll see. Yeah, so this one was actually pretty deceiving since I thought it was going to be pretty easy, but turned out to be somewhat of a slog. My legs were cooked since I had gone to the pool earlier, and the sun was also draining me.
It's cooking out here, boys. About 0.6 in, feeling pretty good. Alright guys, about 2 miles in. He started to get to me though. Pool is probably not like good at all, but it is what it is. Alright gang, well as you might have heard from that video, say hi to the counselors.
What the heck? What are you doing here, Caleb?
Say hi to Xander. Pretty chill dude, you know. Honestly, it's kind of an awkward interaction, but it's all chill. Anyway, 3 miles in. Pretty good. Feeling good.
The rest of the run didn't feel great, but it wasn't horrible either since I had just taken a 20-minute stop to find the counselors, so I felt a little bit better after that.
Alright, we got less than a mile left. Starting to feel pretty tired though. Alright guys, 500 meters around this hill.
I'm gonna be honest, this last part of the run might have been the worst part of it, since my dead legs were attempting to hold a somewhat reasonable pace going up this hill, but I managed to finish.
That was killer. Last 0.25. Just 11 weeks left of this, but it gets harder every week. It's gonna be killer, bro. That's the end of the week. Pretty hype week, honestly. I wish I could have gotten more footage, but I really struggled to film around people. Anyways, that's the mileage of the week. As you can see, 28.15 miles.
Okay, buddy, how do you feel about your effort?
Good. I went sub 33 and I'm very tired.
Boys, just helping out today, you know. Felt pretty solid after my 440 downhill mile that I even split. It's okay. We'll get there one day, boys.
Welcome back. The gangster Josh is increasing now. There's nothing you guys can do about it. Rip the chains, you know what I'm saying? Only real gangsters wear chains.
Everyone say hi, Gangster Joshua. This is him.
That's all I'm saying.
He's
bro.
gonna be very apparent in the series over the next couple of weeks.